Alright, good day. Welcome to another video. So if you looked at the title of this video, you might be thinking, that's a pretty bold statement. Why is this 2005 CRV the best, cheapest, safest, most reliable vehicle all in one that you can buy? I'm going to tell you why right now. So the Honda CRV has always been a very reliable vehicle. Starting back the first generation in the late 90s, here we have a generation 2.5, it's called, CRV, and generation 2 started in the early 2000s with a design change. The reason why generation 2.5 was a little different, it was a facelift model for Honda, which is a common thing that they do. And basically all they did, well, they made a lot of important safety changes with the facelift. They changed the headlights slightly, changed the grille slightly, went to different wheels on the higher trim models. This one here is an EX. And then one of the most important things is they added a lot more driver safety features in the form of side impact airbags. So when you think about it, 2005 was pretty early for side airbags. It was usually in a lot more of the luxury cars, some of the more expensive cars, fancier vehicles that were out there, and Honda went ahead and put it in the CRV. This was a big deal because not only did it include side curtain airbags, but it also included airbags that inflated from the side of the seats as well. The Generation 2 CRVs already had a very reliable engine, the K24 2.4 cylinder Honda dual overhead cam VTEC engine, which requires very little maintenance. It has a timing chain, a very good timing chain versus a belt, which you never have to do anything with unless it somehow breaks, which is very rare. It's common to find these vehicles with well over 300,000 miles with no problems. They've even torn them apart after 200,000 miles, and there's little to no wear on any of the parts inside. They're very forgiving as long as you change the oil regularly and do your routine maintenance. Also made it to the 2.4 liter engine was a 5-speed automatic transmission, and although no transmission is ever without problems, this is actually a fairly reliable transmission. For example, this 2005 has 190,000 miles and has never had any work done on the transmission, and it is in perfect condition. So if you do take care of it, do your fluid changes, which are very easy to do, a little bit of maintenance, the drivetrain of this vehicle is bulletproof and will last you hundreds of thousands of miles. So back to my statement. When I bought this vehicle, I was looking for something cheap and reliable and capable. And let me explain that a little bit. So cheap was around the $5,000 price tag. So give or take, up or down. You can even find these as low as $3,000. But the key is you want a 2005 or 2006 CRV to be within the range. And I researched every vehicle possible in this price range, looking for something that, when I say cheap, around $5,000, capable. This vehicle has all-wheel drive, and it's a very good all-wheel drive system. And it's basically the same thing that they still use today in 2019 on the new CRVs. They've made some changes over the years, but it's almost essentially the same system where you have your front-wheel drive platform, and there is a drive shaft that runs out of the transmission in the front, and then the differential is basically the transfer case, and it sends power to the rear wheels when necessary. This also has a vehicle stability control system. A little bit of mixed reviews on it, but it's a traction control system basically. So, and you can turn it off with the push of a button in snow conditions, but it does help keep you from spinning out of control. So you have a bulletproof engine transmission. You've got an all-wheel drive system to make sure you can get where you need to go in any weather, rain or snow or dry, combined with the side impact airbags and the crash test rating on this vehicle. The only place where the crash test rating in this vehicle wasn't a really good score was the head support from the seats. So that was still an evolving thing for a very tough test. But the addition of the side impact airbags sent this vehicle through the roof as far as its safety is concerned. And like I said, I was looking for something cheap, reliable, and safe because I'm going to put my teenage driver in this vehicle, and the difference between 1 year could potentially save her life in a side impact crash. And a lot of people don't realize that side impact crashes, whether it's you get T-boned by another car or you lose control, slide off the road into a tree or a telephone pole, are one of the leading causes of fatal crashes in the United States. All right, so let's put this into perspective a little bit. Is this the safest car on the road? Absolutely not. Is it the cheapest car on the road? Absolutely not. Is it the most reliable car on the road? Nope. Probably not. Close. But there's a reason that this era Honda CRV was voted one of the best vehicles ever made. If you look at the package as a whole, the 2005-2006 CRV, also known as the Generation 2.5 Honda CRV, is overall the safest, cheapest, most reliable, most capable vehicle you can buy on the road still today. So the purpose of this video wasn't to give you a full review of this vehicle. I'm not going to show you all the features. There's plenty of reviews on YouTube that will show you everything you want to know about all the cool little features that these CRVs had. What I hope you take away from the video is the overall package. I've done a lot of research, lots of research to settle on this vehicle. And it's not just because I'm a Honda fan, honestly. I looked at every vehicle in the price range. I looked at lots of trucks, everything. Trucks didn't have side impact airbags till much later, and they're much more expensive. Hondas obviously hold their value, but I also looked at the Ford Escape of this era that had side impact airbags as well, with the 3-liter V6 engine. Honda, night and day difference about being a much better vehicle. So it's not just that I'm looking for a compact SUV, it's that I was looking for the overall package, the capability, the reliability, the safety, the number one thing. Safety is one of those things that's forgot about a lot until something happens and you realize, man, it would have been better to have a safer vehicle. And it's kind of like almost a rite of passage. You know, as a teenager, when I was 16 years old, I had a 1986 Nissan truck, and it was a great little truck, and I look back and I loved it. Never involved in any accidents, thank goodness. And obviously over the years, safety of vehicles has evolved very quickly and gotten so much better. They're designed to take impacts, take crashes, way better than they used to be. It's not necessarily about being the biggest, strongest vehicle on the road. It's how it can absorb the forces of a crash and how we can use modern safety equipment to protect the occupants of the vehicle. So this vehicle, if you want a cheap vehicle, it's usually hard to get some of those safety features with the car. So that's the main reason why this is the safest in its class, safest for the price vehicle you can buy. You can, like I said, you can find these out there all over the place. They do tend to stay in good condition. They don't really rust out inherently. Obviously, if you never wash them, they can. But a lot of vehicles on the road have common spots that they rust out if you're up here in the snow belt like I am. CRV is generally an overall very good vehicle. It maintains its looks and performance throughout the years with just a little bit of upkeep. You'll have a long road ahead with a CRV. Now, as vehicles come down in price, a newer CRV may actually be a better option because through the years, they just kept making them safer and more reliable. So hopefully this video was helpful and you learned something. Be sure to leave a comment below if you have another suggestion for the cheapest, safest, most reliable, capable vehicle, or if you just want to talk about it. And until next time, we'll see you later, and be sure to subscribe.